What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, joined by
Gershwan.
And today we're back at it to creak and crack as we answer questions from you guys in another For the Greater War.
This is a video series where we answer the questions left by blah, blah, blah. This is a series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below. But question in front of your question, because we get to those questions first. I'm getting ahead of myself because I keep thinking, how am I going to introduce super things? And this is how I'm gonna, this is my pitch to you guys. Support the channel, give us a super thanks, and your question gets answered. It's a guaranteed thing. That's it.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Specta A did. Thank you, Specta A. And his question is, if there ever was a Warhammer 40K fighting game, what type of fighting game would you want it to be? Something akin to Tekken, Guilty Gear, Street Fighter, Super Smash Brothers, etc.? And then, what characters would you like to have in it, and what would be the sub-boss and the final boss? Thanks.
I think a lot of people do this thing, or not a lot of people, like a lot of games do this thing where like you kind of get put into a box of what your game is supposed to be. And I don't like that. I think it would be really cool if you created some type of like Battlefront scenario where in Battlefront, the latest Battlefront, if you have two Jedi, the two Jedi could duel, right? Like that would be cool. So like doing something where it's an epic, you don't lose the big scale battles, but you can still have one-on-ones. Right. So same thing as Battlefront. And then I would have, like, let's say you're playing as Marnius Calgar, and then you meet, I don't know, Abaddon, and then you fight on the battlefield, kind of like Battlefront.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. Because the more I was thinking about that, I think that fits 40K much better than, like, Tekken or something like that. Because honestly, what differentiates these Primarchs? Like, one has a sword, one has a fist, one has like a club or a mace. It's like, besides that, like their fighting styles are all
the same.
Kind of the same.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you could say Angron's going to be more of like a brawler because he was like raised as a gladiator. But then you could also say, well, what about, you know, Mortarion or Magnus? Like, yeah, Magnus would be more magic and, well, not magic, but like sorcery and warp stuff. But I feel like they would be, it wouldn't have any originality to it besides just the characters themselves.
Right.
Yeah. So I think it would work better as like more of like a grand, bigger scale type thing.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Don't lose that quality of 40K that is so important to 40K, which is big battles.
Yeah, so definitely Star Wars Battlefront fits it perfectly because you could have like these 64 versus 64 massive battles where you start off as like an Astarte, and the more kills you get, you become like a captain, and you become like heavy support, you know, jump pack with a power fist or thunder hammer, and then if you get like 5 kills or something, you could pick a Primarch to be.
Right.
Yeah, so I think that'd be really, really cool.
But now we pass it over to you guys. If you guys could create a fighting game based off of 40K, what would it be?
Yeah.
Or what would it look like?
Beast, what's it called? Bloody Roar.
Bloody Roar is cool. Yeah. I like the mole.
He was pretty fun. The lizard was cool because he could turn invisible.
Yeah. You also like the tiger, remember?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just rule of cool.
Yeah. Next question comes from Eric88. Question. With a little elbow grease and a lot of heresy, could other races be entombed in a Space Marine Dreadnought? If so, what race/unit do you think would be the coolest to see crammed into one? I don't think that Dreadnoughts are that badass. I actually think that there's more cool ways to turn a almost dead body into like a battlesuit, and examples of that are the 8.
Yes, Farsight's the 8 is a play on like the 7 samurai type thing. And 2 of them, or I think one of them at least, is like his battlesuit is his life support system.
Yeah.
One of them's been dead, but his brain has been turned into like AI programming, and that's what pilots a suit. So I think that's really badass ways to keep the spirit of the warrior fighting without actually being like an actual sarcophagus.
Yeah. Not to answer the question, I think technologically, the Eldar probably... I mean, they kind of already have that with Wraith.
Yes, Wraith construct, the whole, like, the spirit gets put into the craft world and whatnot.
Yeah. But other than that, like, no, not really.
Yeah.
Rakghoul, maybe. The Rakghoul would look kind of cool.
Yeah.
Have, like, a Dreadnought body, but, like, a bunch of tentacle legs, kind of like that custom... What was it? Defiler that you created?
Oh, yeah. It's basically the legs of the Onager Dunecrawler with the top half of like a Hellbrute. Yeah.
That would look kind of cool for Rakghoul. And if you don't know what the Xeno's rat goal is, check out our 40 facts. It's old, but it's gold. Next one.
It's like Rango.
Yes.
If you've seen the movie Rango. This one is by Carlos Abit. Have the orcs ever run into Slaanesh? Yeah, I think they were like at a Walmart, and one was turning the corner, and then Slaanesh was going the opposite way, and they were like, "Oh, excuse me." And then they did the whole like, "I'm gonna go left," but then Slaanesh was going left, and they kind of danced for a little bit. Super awkward. They dated in high school. Did you know that?
Yeah, orcs, the entire orc population, and Slaanesh. That's where Slaanesh got her reputation, or hid.
Yeah, its reputation.
Yeah,
their reputation.
But yeah, no, Slaanesh orcs exists. They're like purple orcs, I guess. They're very all about pleasure, and I think we have a 40 facts video on them, so check it out.
Yeah, I think you did one for like every chaos, right?
God, yeah.
Nurgle orcs, corn orcs.
Yep. Orc, what is it called? Chaos orcs, maybe?
Yeah.
Next one comes from Comrade Connolly. If the Primarchs were from Mexico, what would their names be? Horacio Lurcal, Roberto Guillermo, Agro Malquir.
That's funny. I always say Lehman Russ as Lemon Ru.
Yeah.
But if you have to like Mexicanoize it, how would it be? Lehman Russ.
What's an L
El
name?
Russo.
El Russo, yeah, that's pretty good. Vulcan would be
Volcanito.
El Volcanito, yeah. That sounds like a pastry.
Yeah, it does. I'll take 2 Volcanitos to go.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah. Next one.
This one is by Freeway Kings. Question. So, what's actually popping?
I mean,
Shoulder, my elbow.
Yeah. It's hard.
It is. Everything be popping nowadays. Pop, lock, and drop it.
And then you go on to say, still need more emphasis on Gershwin. Also, Sound Alchemist is always stepping on his dad shirts.
Yeah, I'm wearing one right now.
Keeping breathable and cool, but let classy and white saying what's poppin'. Wow, saying what's poppin'.
Yeah. You definitely need breathable shirts when you sweat.
Definitely, yeah.
More emphasis on Gershwin.
I don't know what that means.
Like Gershwin, like that, like guttural.
Guttural, yeah. I do play guttural races, so yeah. I think like the orcs are very guttural.
Snick rot.
Cool. Next question comes from the big one. What's the best way to get rid of those huge mushrooms that are always growing in my bathroom? I have that problem with my yard. I don't know how you got your bathroom growing mushrooms, but yeah.
Well, the thing about mushrooms is that they're all at one organism, so you can't just pull them because it's like deep underground.
Mm-hmm. So buy one of those mushroom killers.
It's called a bath fan.
There you go.
Yeah, because it's humidity. That's what's causing them. So you got to get a bath fan, you got to scrub and all that stuff.
So you're screwed because that's kind of environment.
Mm-hmm. Just let Nurgle overtake you.
Yeah, or open the window.
Yeah, that's true. Irish Monster 81. What's the Emperor's true name? I think it's Jeff.
It's close, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I believe it was stated to be Neoth, which is kind of like a play on one, the original one, the one, Neo, the Matrix.
Get with the program, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves. Duh.
Even the book beforehand. Mm-hmm. I heard the book was way better than the movie. Because there was like multiple parts to it. And yeah. But yeah.
That's it. Neoth. Unless he changes it. Because, I mean, he's been alive for a long time.
That's true. And like your name is like, whatever. You could change it. This will be the last question by generic name. Are there any notable non-chaos or Genestealer rebellions? I know Krieg is one such example, but are there other cases of the Imperial fighting rebels with a non-chaos or non-Tyranid agenda?
Yeah, probably one of the biggest ones is the Badab War.
Yep, that's a huge one.
Because essentially it was a civil war. Luft Huron decided, I'm not going to let this happen again. And by let this happen again is that his recruits for the Astartes were taken from Badab.
Yep.
And the planetary governor or one of the generals decided to do a coup and take control of the world. And he's like, nah, this isn't going to happen. I'm going to take control of this.
Yep.
And then he's like, you know what? This planet isn't enough. I'm going to take control of this whole sector.
Yep.
And then he stopped paying his tithes, and then that's what led to this whole escalation of war between Astartes and Astartes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess you could say the caveat is at the end he did become corrupted by chaos, but in the beginning it wasn't.
Right. Also, you have the firstborn, what is it, Volstrian firstborn?
Mm-hmm.
So the reason they're the Volstrian firstborn is because the planet rebelled against the Imperium, and the Imperium was like, from now on, your firstborn of every single family is going to come and enlist the Imperial Guard. They're going to die.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's what the Volstrian firstborn are.
You also have like that secret gene stealer cult on Terra that hasn't been taken care of for some reason. You would think it'd be taken care of. It's freaking Terra.
Yeah.
But that just shows you how sneaky and conniving the gene stealer cults are.
Conniving.
That's how easily they integrate with society.
Yep. And those were the questions for today. If you guys have more questions for us, please comment down below. Thank you so much for the super thanks. You guys are awesome, and thanks for hanging out. We'll talk tomorrow.
Yeah, this has been the Sound Alchemist,
Gersh One.
and we are out.
Oh, I did the